Thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone is doing really well. Recently, I put up a video talking about how it has been almost exactly 1 year since I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which is obviously a thyroid problem. And in that video, I just kind of talked about what I learned and what that experience was like, or is like. Today, I want to talk about what thyroid issues are, specifically what is hypothyroidism. There's also hyperthyroidism, which is basically the opposite of hypo. And I also want to present to you some tips that I would recommend to people who are recently diagnosed or have had this problem for a long time. These are just some tips that will help you so that one day, if you are able to go off medication, you can use these tips and form habits now that you can then really apply later and still have those good habits so that your thyroid doesn't break again. First off, what exactly is hypothyroidism? Hypothyroidism is when the thyroid slows down the production of two hormones, T3 and T4. It either slows down or completely stops making those hormones. The hormones T3 and T4 are for metabolism, digestion, and growth. So what causes hypothyroidism? There are several known causes, and those are inflammation, poor diet, hormone imbalances, genetics, and emotional stress. What are the symptoms of hypothyroidism? If you do find that you are experiencing any of these symptoms, and you might also have thyroid issues that run in your family, or you may have an inflammation problem, or you have problems with digestion, I would highly recommend just checking in with your doctor and getting tested. It never hurts to check, because the sooner they can catch it, the sooner they can treat it, and the faster you can be healed. So some symptoms are fatigue and weakness, depression and anxiety, weight gain and infertility, often feeling cold, you get sick a lot, constipation, achy and tender muscles, stiff and swollen joints, hair loss, rough and cracking skin, breathing problems, and irregular menstrual cycles. So let's pretend you've experienced some of those symptoms. You went to the doctor, you got tested, and it came back saying you have hypothyroidism. You're probably going to be then immediately put onto a prescription medication depending on how far your hypothyroidism has advanced. You'll either be on a very high dosage or very low dosage. 25 is actually the lowest dosage, and then it could go up to like 200, 220. Very, very high dosages depending on how far your hypothyroidism has advanced in your body. So now that you're on this medication, what do? You really have to make some changes if you ever want to be taken off your medication, or if you're on a very high dosage, you'll gradually, as long as you take care of your body and you make the proper changes, they'll slowly decrease the dosage of the prescription until you're down to 25, and then eventually you'll be taken off of it. Or if you're on a low dose from the beginning and you make the changes, it'll increase the chance of being taken off the medication quicker. A lot of people are on this medication for years because the thyroid problem isn't caught right away, so they're immediately put on a super high dose, and then they're for the next 10 years trying to get that dosage down to eventually not have to take it at all. And that's why it's really important to, even if you're just curious, get tested, because again, the sooner they catch it, the sooner it can be treated, and the sooner you can be on medication, and then the sooner you can be taken off medication. But again, as long as you make some changes to your life, your eating habits, that's going to help big time. And the number one tip that I would recommend to everyone is make sure you are taking a multivitamin. It's very important. This is just a good habit to have regardless whether you have a thyroid problem or not. Everyone should be taking a multivitamin. if you have hypothyroidism, make sure your multivitamin is high in iodine. Another vitamin you should make sure your vitamin is high in is tyrosine. Now, the reason why you want to be taking a multivitamin that is high in iodine and tyrosine, the reason why you want to make sure you are getting plenty of iodine and tyrosine in is because T3 and T4 are actually formed through the combination of iodine and tyrosine. Some other vitamins and nutrients you want to make sure you are getting plenty of while on thyroid medication, or in general anyway, are vitamin B, selenium, zinc, vitamin D, omega-3s, and probiotics. So back to our imaginary scenario. So you've noticed that you had those symptoms, you got tested, you got your results back, found out you have hypothyroidism, you're put on medication, you found your vitamin high in iodine and tyrosine. Now what? What's next? I'm going to give to you some changes you can make to your diet that will really help your chances of healing the thyroid. Number one is obviously take your medication and take your vitamins. Slightly increase protein in your diet. The reason why is protein actually acts as the vehicle that transports the thyroid hormones to the rest of the body. Decrease or completely eliminate the consumption of gluten. The reason why is gluten acts as a glue that slows down the movement of hormones. Eat soft and easy to digest foods, and be sure to eat foods high in the vitamins that I mentioned before. Drink plenty of water. Make sure that you are getting enough water throughout the day. Eat foods high in fiber. The reason why you want to make sure you're getting plenty of fiber in is because fiber is the nutrient that helps move things along. It's what helps you go to the bathroom. Hypothyroidism can cause a lot of digestion problems, and it can cause a lot of waste movement problems. So you want to make sure you're getting the nutrients in that are going to make things a little bit easier and basically make it easier on your body to do its job. I might pronounce this wrong, but avoid goitrogen foods. These types of foods interfere with the absorption of iodine, which decreases the production of T3 and T4. As I mentioned before, one of the causes of hypothyroidism is hormone imbalances. So it's a really good idea to cut out dairy. The reason why is dairy cows are pumped full of hormones that are unnatural to the human body. Those hormones are never fully filtered out during the dairy production process, and therefore they enter the human body and interfere with our own hormone production. So that is my summary of what hypothyroidism. It's very brief. Doesn't get into all the science behind it, but just a basic understanding of what it is and what to do when you have it. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you learned something, if you did like it, please give this video a like. For more videos about health, nutrition, eating disorders, and diets, please subscribe. And if you have any questions about eating disorders or hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism or diet in general, or if you have any criticisms or feedback, feel free to leave a comment, and I will see you next time.